The one thing I need you to remember about ChatGPT is the more you treat it like a human being, the better it is. So the more you're specific or you ask for something without trying to be perfect, don't worry about spelling mistakes or typos, but then don't settle when you get results or an answer that you're not happy with. You can always ask it to improve and make it more specific. Ask it to make it more concise or elaborate or more advanced or clearer for beginner speakers.
Hey, you're listening to the Influency Podcast. I'm Hadar, your host, a pronunciation expert, fluency coach, and a proud non-native speaker. With over 16 years of experience teaching, I am here to share with you all my secrets on how to show up in English clearly, with confidence and freedom. On this podcast, I'll provide step-by-step strategies, lessons, stories, and practical tips to keep you inspired and motivated on your English journey. Are you ready? Let's do it.
Hey everyone, welcome to my ChatGPT English practice tutorial. When ChatGPT first came out, I immediately decided to make a video and teach you how to use ChatGPT to improve your English practice. Get ready to meet your new virtual language partner, ChatGPT. This was quite a long time ago, and ChatGPT has evolved significantly in its capabilities, and so have I. I have learned how to use ChatGPT in the most effective way, and I was able to really understand how to utilize ChatGPT to skyrocket your English practice. I am so passionate about it that I even created a mini training on how to use ChatGPT to really 10x your English practice experience. And I'm going to link more information to it in the description below. It incorporates video tutorials on how to use ChatGPT to improve grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation, fluency, writing, and so much more, with hundreds of effective prompts, all tested, so you can get access to it and then really understand how to use this super powerful free tool. What we're going to do today, this is going to be an interactive practice. So if you can, watch this video while doing what I'm doing on your computer using ChatGPT. I'll do it on my computer and I'll share the screen, but you can do it on your computer and try doing the same thing. Let's see if we get the same results. I'll give you the prompts. I'll show you how to optimize the prompts. It's really cool. The one thing I need you to remember about ChatGPT is the more you treat it like a human being, the better it is. Okay? So the more you're specific or you ask for something without trying to be perfect, don't worry about spelling mistakes or typos, but then don't settle when you get results or an answer that you're not happy with. You can always ask it to improve and make it more specific. Ask it to make it more concise or elaborate or more advanced or clearer for beginner speakers. Another thing that is incredible about ChatGPT is that it gives you feedback on your writing or even your speaking, which is super cool. And it's free. Have I said that? So if you want to learn more about how to really master ChatGPT for your English and how to use it to get feedback, again, definitely check out this video. Watch it until the end, but also go to hadarshemish.com/chat or click the link in the description to get my in-depth tutorial with hundreds of prompts that I just recently created. Let's go ahead and log into ChatGPT. This is how it's going to look like at the beginning. So you'll just need to type in your email address, and usually you can just log in with your Google account if you have it. But that is the one thing that you need to do so that it remembers you. By the way, you can upgrade it to ChatGPT 4. I have ChatGPT 4. I'm going to be using the basic one, the free one right now. But just so you know, you can also upgrade it for more robust responses. But I think that most of the people who are going to use it for their English practice, you won't need it. Okay, so let's start with corrections. Can you correct this sentence? And then I'm going to write, every day she wear red. Okay? Let's see if he gets the mistake. The correct sentence would be, every day she wears red. You need to use wears instead of wear because the subject she requires the third person singular form of the verb. Good. So I got the correction and I also got the explanation. Now let's say, can you suggest a list of 5, let's say B2 level words to practice? Okay, great. So we have the word assume, complicate, significant. What else? Persuade. Good words. Good words. Vivid. I bet that for a lot of you, these words are words that you know, but you don't necessarily use, right? So whatever the result was for you, again, remember, you can tweak it. You can ask it to make it more advanced, more basic, change the level, make it A2 level or C1 or C2. And one more thing that you need to remember is that ChatGPT studies you. So when you give it constant feedback about the results that you're getting, it keeps improving. And then you can also ask it for more examples, like give me 5 sentences with the word complicate. And then you get a list of words and then you can say it out loud. You can practice along with it. So this is one way to practice your vocabulary. You can also ask it to suggest synonyms for certain words or rephrase a certain sentence using synonyms for specific words. You can ask it to create a quiz for you. For example, create a fill-in-the-blank quiz to practice new words. Let's see what comes up. So you can create a quiz. The company is planning to a new product line next year to meet customer demand. Launch, launchable, launching, launched. What's the answer? Do you know? Or after months of hard work, the team finally, the project ahead of schedule. Complete, completes, completed, completing. What's the answer? You're going to have to ask ChatGPT because this is not an English class. I'm not going to give you the answer. Let's move on to grammar practice. With grammar, what you can do is, first of all, ask for very basic explanations about tenses. And here's a caveat. ChatGPT is not always super accurate. When it comes to grammar and explaining tricky concepts, I wouldn't trust it. I would go to more reliable sources like blogs or videos or teachers that you trust. But for basic explanations to understand tenses or phrasal verbs, you can absolutely use ChatGPT and ask for an explanation. You can ask it to create exercises for you. You can ask it to take one sentence and change it to a different tense to understand the differences. You can ask for a lot of example sentences. So for example, you can write something like this. Can you write 5 sentences using the present perfect tense and explain why, no E, they're in the present perfect tense. Okay, so I asked for an explanation and for examples. And for me, as I'm learning Spanish as well, for me, just repeating phrases out loud is really helpful. So I recommend for you to do that as well. So let's see what comes up. I have visited Paris 3 times. Explanation: the present perfect is used here because the action visiting Paris happened at some point in the past and it is still relevant to the present. The exact time of the visits is not specified, but the focus is on the experience up until now. Okay, pretty good explanation to explain the present perfect tense. So I could just look at the example sentences, or I could also refer to the explanation. And then turn these sentences into sentences in the past simple. And then you can kind of like switch around between tenses and see why they're different. So for example, I visited Paris 3 times. An explanation, the past simple is used because the action happened at specific times in the past and it is no longer connected to the present. Okay, so you can see, you can compare it, you can compare the context, you can compare the structure. Great way to practice grammar. You can also use ChatGPT for speaking practice. So for example, can we simulate a conversation between a client and a customer support agent? We can practice certain scenarios. Let's say you were supposed to call the bank, or let's say you were supposed to have a conversation with your child's teacher. So you can actually simulate it before. You can ask for vocabulary to guide you in this conversation. You can ask it to write a conversation. You can ask it to practice with you. So you are one party and chat is another. So let's take a look. Client, I'm having trouble logging into my account. Could you help me? So just reading it out loud is helpful, right? Different dialogues. Hello, I'm sorry to hear that you're having trouble. I'd be happy to help. Can you tell me if you're receiving any specific error message when you try to log in? So on and so forth. And then I can modify it, and then I can ask it to practice along with me. And sometimes it suggests follow-up prompts. So pay attention to what it writes at the end. You can also practice pronunciation, but I'm not going to get into it because it can get tricky. I do explain it more in depth in my training, but because ChatGPT cannot detect your pronunciation and it cannot necessarily know what sound you're asking it about, or if you ask a list of words, you need to use IPA, for example, the International Phonetic Alphabet. But apart from that, I think when it comes to pronunciation, you have to be a little bit more careful so you don't get the wrong results. It's not as good when it comes to pronunciation as it is for vocabulary and grammar. So I'm just saying, this is why I'm a little hesitant to share more information about this. So there are many different ways to do it. The more creative you are, the better it is. If you had a teacher that you could ask it to do anything with you, what would you ask? How would you want to practice? And just do it with ChatGPT. A disclaimer. ChatGPT will never replace humans, okay? AI will never replace humans. You still need to practice with people. You still need guidance from people. It's a robot. It's great, but it's not enough. It will save you time. If any way you need to spend 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes a day, every other day to practice English, it will save you time with finding the resources. It's interactive, it's fun, but once you practice and you learn, you got to take it to the real world, and the real world includes humans. And I do integrate AI quite a lot into my work and into my programs. People who join my programs can have access to Hadar AI, which is my digital clone, trained on all of my content. You can have conversations with it. Pretty cool. Not available to everyone, only people who join my programs. I love it. I think it's great. It's an additional tool, and why not utilize it? But hard work is still needed to learn a language. Okay? No shortcuts here, but it can save you time in certain places, and that is amazing. And this is why I wanted to teach you how to use ChatGPT. To wrap up, today we talked about how to use ChatGPT and how to approach it with prompts, giving feedback on the responses, tweaking responses so it can learn how you want it to provide answers. We talked about how to use ChatGPT for vocabulary, for grammar, for fluency practice, and you can find more prompts for free on my website. So you can just click the link below to see more prompts to improve vocabulary and grammar. And if you want to go deeper and learn more how to use ChatGPT to really skyrocket your English practice, then check out my ChatGPT training. Go to hadarshemish.com/chat or check out the link in the description as well. I hope this was helpful. And that's it. If you have any more ideas or suggestions on how to use ChatGPT, or if you want to share how you use ChatGPT to improve your English, or any other language you're working on, let us know in the comments. Have a beautiful, beautiful rest of the day, and I will see you next week in the next video. Bye.